This one's going to be a little more of a heated video. As of this recording, there are 160 chapters of Rent-A-Girlfriend out, and I have read all of them, and we'll be talking up to all of them, so spoilers if you don't want to get spoiled. Although I will say, nothing actually happens. Like most people, I was a big fan of Rent-A-Girlfriend when it first aired back in July. After the first episode, I ended up binging the entire manga in one night. At first, it was great. I was loving it, from the Contact Collection reference to the goddess Sumi herself. Then chapter 102 hits and it takes a massive fucking nosedive, completely exposing all the problems this manga had and laid them bare. So season 1 adapted a whopping 50 chapters and we still only saw Sumi for fucking one episode. When season 2 was announced, because I knew what's coming later in the manga, I was less than pleased. However, since the real problem starts at 102 chapters, there might be a glimmer of hope. So before I talk about why you should not read ahead or be excited for season 2, I will provide this small amount of hope. I'm not going to provide 3 different options as to what season 2 could adapt, just to sort of set expectations as to maybe they might not get to what's shit. Option 1, they leave out the shit parts. Honestly, this is one of the 2 most likely to happen options. There is hopefully enough content to fill another 12 episode seasons between chapter 50 and chapter 100. The problem with that is it's hard to explain and go through Chizuru's backstory, which is kind of covered in the chapters just before 102, without adding the part where Kazuya wants to start making a movie. The second option being they cut a good amount of content to skip right to the movie arc. Nothing really happens between when the anime ended and the movie arc begins. The biggest problem is that the movie arc is so fucking long that they're going to have to start season 2 basically right at chapter 100 or so and cut the 50 chapters in between. This is less likely to happen than option 1, but it's still a possibility. The final but less likely option is a 24 episode or season 3. If they greenlight both seasons or a long season, we could get it all. The thing is, I highly doubt this happens. After the final episode aired, associate producer Taki Kakizaki asked fans to pre-order the Blu-ray and show support for season 2. Hours later, they officially announced it. If a production committee was going to make a 24 episode season 2 or 2 seasons, asking fans for support shows that there's no real chance of a 24 episode. Or a case like Fruits Basket, where they know they're going to make multiple seasons but don't announce it till the final episode airs. I could be proven wrong though, I'm just providing some examples of what could happen come season 2. Either way, option 1 and 2 are the most likely, with option 1 being a solid bet but a very loose and incomplete ending. Now let's talk about why, despite any of those options, it's still going to be shitty. Cause yeah, this manga sucks. Let's start with chapter 102 to 160, the real problem chapters. In chapter 102, Kazuya goes to Mitsuhara and tells her that he will make a movie with her. Because she wants to be an actress, and because Kazuya has absolutely no purpose in life except to try and go for a girl he has no right going for, the terrible movie arc begins. They start fundraising and filming and shooting and all of that shit, and honestly that's not the important part. What's important is all the things that are put on the back burner for this shit. For starters, Mami, the only real cause of any interesting conflicts, falls off the face of the fucking earth. She up and vanishes with absolutely no signs of where she went or anything. Is Mami a terrible person? Yeah. However, she created interesting conflicts and kinda kept the plot going. She's also spitting straight up facts when talking about the relationship Chizuru and Kazuya have. Whether you like her or not, Mami is an integral part of the story, and she just vanished. Ruka says she's gonna help with the movie, but does basically nothing the entire time. She also turns from an interesting character to help create drama to a background character who just seems to annoy Kazuya, which in turn annoys me because dude, she's your fucking girlfriend, pay attention to her. I will touch on this a little later in the video when I go over the manga as a whole, but right now I'm going to talk about the movie arc. Reading this arc was an absolute slog to get through, clocking in at about 40% of the current chapter count. It was such a drag as the entire premise of the whole manga was put on hold for a stupid fucking let's follow our dreams kind of meme. Don't get me wrong, because they are in uni and all that, I get that these characters figuring out and try to achieve what they want to do in life can lead to some character development. The only problem is, none of the characters fucking develop. Kazuya does it because he loves Chizuru, that doesn't change. Ruka is still fine being number 2 and put aside for his grade A simping goals, that doesn't change. And Chizuru still shows no fucking signs of falling in love with Kazuya, and that doesn't change. Take something like the Pet Girl of Sakura Hall. Arguably, the whole point of that is about Mashiro, Aoyama, and Sorata, as well as the other characters like Jin, Misaki, and Akasaka, all discovering more about themselves and what they want to do in life, and going for it. Take how Aoyama and Sorta both try to get into voice acting and game development respectively, and fail. This allows them to grow as characters and realize just how hard they have to work. If you're going to show how hard it is to grow up and how harsh the real world is, like Sakura Hall, while adding character development, Rent-A-Girlfriend is doing it all fucking wrong. While Mizuhara does work hard to become an actor, she has it a lot easier when her pretend boyfriend comes knocking on her door offering her to make her a movie just because he wants to sleep with her. She doesn't have to audition for it, train hard, she is the main producer on a fucking leash who will do anything for a chance to see her in casual clothes. Kazuya literally puts her on his back and carries her dreams and made them a reality. While it wasn't how hard she worked or her getting recognized while performing her play, no, it was because she was nice to the right dumbass sim. This leads nicely to the next section where I talk about the problems as a whole. The worst and most annoying character is Kazuya. Yeah, not Mommy, but Kazuya. Kazuya is honestly the absolute worst when it comes to protagonists, and he's unbearable. For starters, one girl shows him any kindness and he's immediately in love. Chizuru said he would help him get another girlfriend. If that's not the biggest "I don't want you" hint, I don't know what is. This motherfucker will break his back carrying Chizuru to stardom, and it has gotten him nowhere. I'll bring up Chizuru's feelings a little later, but first I will mention something I brought up earlier. Can we talk about how fucked up his treatment is of Ruka? Like, I get that this is trying to be some funny fake girlfriend like Nisekoi gimmick, but he's just being a complete asshole to her. He is leading her on with this trial girlfriend thing when Kazuya has almost never considered her a real love interest, and the only time he has is when a possible sexual situation happens. Then he starts calling her cute. Like, dude, that's pretty fucked. Here you are, leading on this poor girl, and the longer this trial goes on, the more invested she's gonna be because she's already invested all this time into trying to get you to fall in love with her. Like, bruh, just look what happened in School Days. He refused to break up with her properly, and y'all know how that ended. If you don't, then that you're fine, but if y'all see School Days, y'all know how that ended, okay? It's kind of the same thing. Like, is it not? Man, it's just brutal seeing Kazuya ignore the girl who is genuinely in love with him for a girl who shows zero fucking interest. Ooh, look at that. I'm on fire with these transitions. The next big thing I want to bring up is Chizuru's lack of any sort of feelings. Like I said, as of this recording, there are 160 chapters deep. And for some crazy reason, the main heroine, the one on all the covers, number one girl, the main pull of the series, has zero. None. Absolutely no romantic feelings for Kazuya, the protagonist. Like, how the fuck can you write 160 chapters and still have the main heroine show zero signs of interest? Fuck me, you were beaten out by the likes of Nisekoi, where the fucking tsundere realized she's in love with the dude faster than this. You know, those girls whose main trait is not being honest with themselves? It's not even like Chizuru is in love and doesn't accept it like Chitoge is. She's just not interested. There are no inner lines about her thinking about Kazuya. She never blushes at him, never even ponders the possibility of what a relationship with him is like. Not once. Now I get, some people want to settle down and get their life sorted before they make big relationship choices. But remember, this is a romance! There is supposed to be romantic progression! Like, for fuck's sake, if this keeps up, it's gonna make fucking Komi-san seem like a fast-paced romance. If there was some inner dialogue of Chizuru questioning whether she could really become a couple or not, maybe her getting flustered when Kazuya does something, or just something. She literally just fucking stonewalls him, and let's be real, is only kind to him because he fucking pays her all the time, and has also devoted months to help her, to carry her dreams to reality. The apparent lack of any real progression in this story was so easy to see during this movie arc, which is another reason it was terrible. While these problems are consistent throughout the entire manga, the main big dramatic events and the whole rom-com keep it interesting, like Mommy finding out Chizuru's a rental, or something small like Ruka working at the same place as him. But when you decide to drop any romantic drama for some slogfest of a very shitty version of a work hard for your dreams, haha, it shows all the flaws and problems with this manga as a whole. The permanent state of terrible romantic limbo, where Chizuru accepts all of Kazuya's help and money, not loving him back, where Ruka is being put through this terrible, torturous trial relationship with zero hope of any further, all makes for an awful gimmick when you strip away the events that keep it interesting. If this shit stuck to the description, it would have been a somewhat passing grade, but with this god-awful slugfest of a movie arc, it's a 4.6 out of 10 manga from me. A terrible romantic setup hidden just beneath kind of interesting dramatic events that are shown bare when the very thin cover is ripped off in favor of a poorly done Chase Dreams arc. So now you know why there are memes online all about why the manga readers are pissed off at a season 2, including me. Like I stated earlier in the video, however, there's a chance, a very small chance, that they will adapt the chapters 51 to 100-ish. But like I said again, that's hard because chapters 100-ish the beginning of the 100, 101, 102 all go into Chizuru's backstory, and it all culminates in Kazuya asking Chizuru to make this movie with her. So either they just kind of do Chizuru's backstory and fucking cut it off like that, making for a somewhat incomplete thing, or they do the movie arc and skip at all of the actual good content. We'll have to see though when season 2 rolls around. Don't look forward to Rent a Girlfriend season 2, and don't read ahead. Thanks for watching.